Hey, thanks for joining us for another edition of Weekend Winners. We're back at Albion Park on Saturday night. Brand new track following remedial works which were undertaken all week. So we're looking forward to this cracking card. The free-for-all, which comes through as race 5, is a ripper. But this meeting will also coincide with the big meeting coming through from Melton. All eyes on that Group 1 Grand Circuit race because it features the star Queenslander Leap to Fame. So we'll be cheering him on, but hopefully we'll be able to back plenty of winners at the famed Breakfast Creek Oval on Saturday night. In this edition of Weekend Winners, we're going to speak with Taleah McMullen and Angus Garrard. Taleah McMullen now joins us to go through her runners on Saturday night. Taleah, appreciate the time.
No worries.
We start with race 2. Timsy is your drive here. This is his third run back. Were you happy with the run last week?
Yeah, I was really happy with him last week. I thought he hit the line pretty good. He only really got out late and felt pretty good, so I think he's on the up.
Okay, that was the race won by Uga Chaka. They went good time there. It took over 54, 56.9 closing half. So given the fact that he is having his third run back, he sort of gives the signs that he's on the way up this campaign.
Yeah, hopefully. I think he's a pretty nice horse when he's right, so hopefully he continues to improve.
What do you make of the draw here? 2 off the second row following out Dr. Feelgood.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good draw for him. Just have to see what happens after the start and where we settle. Hopefully we don't end up too far back.
This race is 2,138 metres. Is he a better miler or it doesn't really matter?
I don't think it worries him too much. I think when he was first up it was 21 and he didn't get a run, so he felt good though that start, so I don't think the 21 will worry him.
Okay, so whatever he does on Saturday night, we keep following him?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, well that's Timsy there in race number 2. What about race 3? Your old mate here, BMAC, draws the inside of the second row and he's drawn to follow out a fast beginner, maybe the likely leader in Despondent. So does this set up perfectly for him?
I think so. He loves a draw on the fence. I think it works out good for him. Despondent usually has been trying to hold the lead, but even worst case scenario, 3 fence. I think he loves that sort of trip and we'll just need a bit of luck late.
Okay, just looking at that front line there. So Despondent 1, the horse you're following out. Rocks or Diamonds 4. It looks like you're going to get a genuine tempo.
Yeah, so that should suit him.
Okay, what happened last time out?
He was on the fence, didn't really get a clear run. I didn't think it was a bad run, just held up, and he felt pretty good though and really good 2 starts ago, so I think this draw will be ideal for him.
Okay, so a perfect setup there on the fence and taking all the shortcuts.
Yeah, that's his go.
All right, it certainly is. That's BMAC. What about in race 4? You've got your own runner stepping out here, Scruffy Doolan. A lot better last time out.
Yeah, I don't think he's going too bad. Not a lot has really been going his way, and this week probably doesn't look much better. He's off the front, but number 7, so that's not ideal. He's not a super quick beginner from the stand, so we'll just have to see where we end up. Hopefully he steps well enough to be somewhere handy, but I definitely don't think he's going bad. I think he just needs a bit of luck.
Okay, tell me this though. Were you disappointed when you seen 7 there when the fields came out?
Yeah, like he's run a couple nice races on the fence. If he can kind of draw 1 or 2 and end up on the fence and handy enough, then I think he's a chance in a race like that. But from 7, it's very awkward, and sometimes you'd rather be 1 off 10 metres, and that seems a little bit easier than 7 off the front.
Okay, it's a good field, 2,647 metres. Are you more worried if you had to single one out? Are you more worried about Gus or Adele?
They're both a lot better than this poor old Scruffy, unfortunately. So, yeah, they would put him away pretty easy.
Okay, so we need a little bit of luck there with Scruffy in race number 4. What about in race 7 here? What a Journey. You had the choice of drives here with What a Journey and Bailey's with Legs. Bailey's with Legs is an early scratching, so What a Journey. She's improved, hasn't she?
Yeah, she has. She dropped back a lot, which helped, but I think she's hit a bit of form again where she's got a bit of confidence, and I think this race should be a suitable race for her.
Yeah, it certainly looks that way on paper because there was no standout. So looking at her recent effort, she's been, placed 3 of her last 4, last start winner. So confidence is high again, hopefully.
Yeah, I think she's hit some form again, so probably have to press forward. Little bit of an awkward draw, but I think if she can end up handy, then it's a winnable type of race for her.
Okay, so what's an ideal scenario for her? Where would you like to be at the 400?
In front, but I'm not sure if that's where we're going to be. But hopefully she does possess a bit of gate speed. So if we come out hard and even could get 1-1 or something, that would really be ideal.
So she doesn't have to lead to win?
Oh, it would definitely help, but I'd like to see her sitting 1-1 and just have a really nice, easy trip. I think she does have a bit of speed late. She's just not super strong.
Yeah, okay. But as I said, it's a very open race. You can't really single one out here, can you?
Yeah, I didn't think there was any real standout. I thought it was a pretty even field.
Okay, well, hopefully she's a good chance and she can make it back-to-back Albion Park wins. What a journey. And I'm keen to get your thoughts here. Race 9, number 1, Might As Well. She is banging the door down, this mare. Can Saturday night be her night?
I really hope so. Every week I kind of go out thinking that it might be her night, but it just doesn't work out. But I really think from the 1 draw she should have a chance, have options, but I'd probably like to try and lead on her, and I really hope she can get the job done.
Okay, how did you grade her last week when third behind Miss Mucho?
I thought she was really good. I think Miss Mucho probably is a little bit better horse than her, but I think swap the draws around, then she probably wins anyway. So I think from 1 she should be pretty hard to beat.
Okay, this race looks a lot easier compared to last week, doesn't it?
Yeah, they went good time last week. She was off the fence and probably pulled out a little bit earlier than what I would have liked. So I think drawing 1 is a massive help, and she has got really good form lately, so hopefully we can get a win.
Okay, so you're keen to hold the lead, but if 1 came hard, is it likely to be Wild Imagination? Would you look at cover with her?
Yeah, I think she's probably a little bit classier than them though, yeah. And off of her recent form, I think she's good enough to maybe be able to hold them out and lead and take them all the way. But yeah, I don't want to get in too many battles. If something does happen to cross, then I won't be too worried sitting behind leader either. All
right, well, that's Might As Well. She is banging down the door, like I said, so hopefully this is going to be her race. Which one are you most looking forward to on Saturday night?
I think Might As Well has the right draw to be able to win.
Awesome. Race 9, number 1, Might As Well. Taleah, as always, really appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
Thank you.
Angus Garrard jumps in the hot seat to go through his book of drives on Saturday night. He's got some good drives, including one in this first race, which looks to be one of the toughest races on the card. This race is loaded with chances. Angus, appreciate the time.
My pleasure, Chris.
Classy Washington. There was 5 weeks between runs when he was produced, and he finished third behind Yep Got Chooks. Were you happy with that first up run?
Yeah, I was really happy with him, Chris. Probably couldn't have driven him much worse, but you know, he still ran a super race.
Okay, so what was the plan going into that race, which you weren't satisfied with your own drive then?
Probably wasn't a solid plan, but you know, I sort of thought Ultimate Huey, once he rolled around to the breeze, I thought there was an opportunity to get up there handy, but he sort of wanted to hold that spot, so we got left out there. But you know, in saying that, I think if he didn't sort of get inconvenienced when that one went off stride at the top of the straight, I actually think he would have gone close to winning still.
Okay. How's he come through that run?
Yeah, really good, Chris. Really happy with him at home, so hopefully he's spot on Saturday night.
All right. Do you agree with me that this is a race that's just stacked full of chances? Like, there's not one horse that you can really rule out here.
Yeah, for sure. I think whoever gets the best trip probably wins here. You know, there's sort of a few dropping back in grade from sort of 4 to 2s and opens. You know, a few sort of coming up from the qualies, and you know, it's a really handy field across the board.
Okay, I'm keen to get your thoughts on the barrier draw. Gate 4, on paper, it probably sounds okay, but is it a little sticky?
It is a little tricky. You know, there's a stack of speed inside us, and there's still a bit of speed outside us as well. But you know, we're not sort of committed to having to go forward or having to go back, so we can sort of drive it as we see it and how it pans out.
Yeah, he's so versatile. His record here at this track is just phenomenal, really. He's so consistent.
Yeah, that's right. You know, he can do it from anywhere if the race is run to suit. So, you know, I got a lot of confidence in him. If he gets sort of a little bit of luck he needs, that he can be winning.
Okay. Do you think this race is going to generate a heap of speed?
It looks that way. You know, sometimes when it looks sort of really hot tempo on paper, it can sort of go the other way. But you know, I think at least sort of that first 200 or 300 is going to be super sharp.
Okay, he's proven that he can charge right down the outside, so that's another string to his bow.
Yeah, that's right. As I said, he can do it from anywhere with depending on the tempo of the race.
All right, terrific chance there with Classy Washington in race number 1. What about race 2? You're driving Johnson Step. Did he surprise you last week?
Not really. I thought his run before that was quite good in sort of a slowly run race, and he made a move 3 wide solo from about the half, and he wasn't far away. He was still whacking away, and they sort of only sprinted for 400. So I do think he's getting better. He's probably starting to get used to our racing up here, and if he had to come up with a barrier draw, I'd say he'd be a really good chance.
Yeah, and I think that's fair too, because he made up good ground last week. Ugachaka won that race. They went a tick over 54. Last half was a tick over 56, and his numbers would have been pretty strong.
Yeah, that's right. He was really good. He found the line good. He was sort of probably lost a little bit of momentum on the turn, but he really savaged the line, and hopefully with a bit of luck he can still go close.
Who's the horse to beat in this race?
Oh, it's probably sort of tough to put one in there. I think it's probably another one that's fairly even.
Yeah.
There's probably not a whole lot between them.
Yeah, it looks that way. So if he gets any sort of luck, he can hit the line again?
Yeah, I think so, Chris.
All right, well, that's Johnson's Step there in race number 2. Let's go across to race 4, the Trot. Tamo Shanta, he's back in the right sort of form. He's found his groove again. Are you happy with the way he's going?
Yeah, I've been wrapped in him, Chris. He's actually really impressed me since I've started driving him, and he's doing everything right now, touch wood. So, he steps up into Saturday night grade, but I think he can match it with him.
Okay. He's normally a pretty good beginner. If he leads this field, can he give cheek?
Yeah, he certainly can. Over the 21, I'd probably say he'd be really hard to beat, but the 26 probably is sort of a touch too far for him. But in saying that, he's run a good 26 before and not been beaten far, so I wouldn't say that takes him out of it by any means.
Okay. You look at the class runners down the bottom of the page, and that they, have the right credentials. Are you more worried about Gus or Adele?
I think Gus. I think, he's only given us 10, and, he's got a stack of potential. He's run some enormous races, taking nothing away from Adele. She's been a really good mare, and she's definitely racing well, but I think if Gus gets it all right, I think he's probably one of the better ones up here.
Okay. It's a good point you raised, though. If it was 2100 here in this race, he would be very hard to catch.
Yeah, for sure. Over the 2100, he sort of steps good, and he can probably crack a sub 2 minute mile rate over the 21, so it certainly makes it hard for anything off a handicap that way.
Okay. Well, that's your drive there in the Trot, Tamo Shanta. What about race 6? This looks to be a good drive. Back to Batuta. He's going really well. His last couple of runs have been excellent, including that last start second behind What a Roller.
Yeah, he's been flying, Chris. He's savaging the line all the time, and he's getting better all the time.
Is this the perfect race for him? 2 off the second row, so you don't have to get involved early, and hoping that they do go hard and you can just finish over the top?
Yeah, I think it looks okay on paper, Chris. We were sort of hoping we weren't going to come up with a Frankie Ferocious in this field, but, in saying that, we got the right draw, and I certainly don't think any of them are unbeatable, put it that way.
Okay, do you expect Nathan Dawson to light up Frankie Ferocious from 7 in the lead?
Well, I'd say so. He's probably run his best race of his career doing that. I think he went 51 or just a tick over, and he's probably nearly got enough respect where he can sort of light him up and maybe dictate. But if they work him hard enough, I think we can definitely beat him.
Okay, depth-wise, this race is probably not as strong as what that last start race was. The race that What a Roller won.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say, Chris. It's probably not quite as strong, but there's still a few nice ones in there, and no race is easy to win on a Saturday night.
Yeah, that's for certain. So he's a good chance, though, back to Batuta. And then we go across to race 8. You're driving Miss Strepo again. You know this mare really well. What did you think last week when third?
Yeah, I thought she was really good, and it was probably a race that was run a little funny. It was a really steady middle half, but her sections were good. She ran home in 28 too, and I thought she raced well.
It's an interesting little field, this one on Saturday night. Captain of Speed, Modern Power's a newcomer, Carly Morgan's a newcomer. So there's a few difficult horses to line up here.
Yeah, that's right. There's a few handy ones, like you say, and probably, raw ability-wise, there's probably a few a little bit better than her, but she's honest and she'll sort of give you the same thing every week, and if she gets the right trip, she'll be right there again.
Okay, which drive are you most looking forward to?
I think Back to Batuta is a good one, but always look forward to sitting behind Classy Washington.
All right. Is he too far down the rankings to force his way into that final cutoff?
Yeah, I think so. He'd probably have to come out and sort of win probably his next sort of 4 or 5 starts between now and the Inters to somehow get up there.
All right, well, let's hope that run starts on Saturday night. Race 1, number 4, Classy Washington. Angus, as always, appreciate the time, and we'll see you trackside.
No worries. Thanks, Chris.
As always, a big thanks to our drivers, Taleah, McMullen and Angus Garrard. Hopefully there's winners plenty for them on Saturday night. But looking for a good thing on Saturday night, I think we can strike early. Race 2, number 4, Rosberg. Now, he's yet to win since finding his way to Queensland. He's prepared at Redcliffe by Donnie and Maureen Smith. They've had a few little issues with his sulky and the size of the sulky he needs. He was unlucky last week, got buried on the inside. He's finally got a draw. He's got the right driver behind him. I think he's our best bet. Race 2, number 4, Rosberg. Hopefully we'll get the money nice and early and play up our winnings a little bit later in the card. It's a good card, as I said. The free-for-all, that is going to be a ripper. Several ID23 candidates stepping out in that race, including the track record holder, Black Sedans, Turn It Up There, and the emerging star Future Assured. So that's all in front of us this weekend. The first of 10 starting at 5:39 Saturday night.